Another day, another special edition of PFTPM. This one also comes, like yesterday's, from the NFC North, where there isn't a new coach and won't be for multiple years in the future at a minimum. Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings announced today a deal to keep him in place as the team's head coach. He was hired 3 years ago with a 4-year contract. 1 year was left. When he didn't get an extension after the 2023 season, he was not happy about that, per sources. It did not sit well, per sources. And so when talk commenced, sparked by a certain 3-letter NFL news and information website back in December, that maybe the Bears should pursue someone like Kyle Shanahan or John Harbaugh or Mike McDaniel via trade, why not Kevin O'Connell? Because there was an issue. He had 1 year left under contract. Without a new deal, become a free agent. Rarely happens for NFL head coaches. Most coaches don't like to give up the bird in the hand. You're not guaranteed to find another one. And there's also that concern about collusion that rattles around league circles from the perspective of those who have to deal with the teams that would just as soon not see the salary scale for coaches get higher and higher and higher. Through it all, what happened was, and the ultimate catalyst was the Week 18 Sunday splash report from Jay Glazer, that multiple teams were interested in trading for O'Connell. That got the Vikings' attention, if they didn't already realize they needed to do something, and that if they weren't going to give O'Connell what he was looking for, and if he was willing to coach out the final year of his contract, he walks away without compensation. So this was critical to get this done. That's why we were banging the drum from the morning after the Vikings lost in the playoffs to the LA Rams. Now is the time to do this. Not August, not July, not March, not any month, but right now. And a week later, it's done. And that's no accident. Because without the deal done, first O'Connell has to say, am I really serious about leaving as a free agent after the season? And second, the Wilfs have to say, are we content to let him and get no compensation, or would we just trade him now? That's why it's done so quickly. There will be people who don't understand things who will think that the news of the new deal means there was never a problem. The news of the new deal coming now means there absolutely was a problem. And the Vikings move quickly to fix it. We figure out whether or not we can get a deal done, because if we can't, a decision needs to be made. Do we keep him for 1 more year and let him walk, or do we get in touch with one of these other teams and see if there's a trade to be made, especially when multiple teams were interested, as Glazer reported, in trading for O'Connell? It doesn't happen because they got the deal done. Wisdom prevailed. Cooler heads prevailed. Sanity prevailed. And now the guy who's only been on the job 3 years, but already has multiple 13-win seasons. The first coach in franchise history to do that. Yeah, it helps to have 17 games, but still, he's the first one to ever do it. And he'll be around a lot longer, presumably. Look, any coach is 2 or 3 bad seasons away from being a former coach, but O'Connell has done very well without a franchise quarterback, a true franchise quarterback, and the hope will now be that J.J. McCarthy becomes that guy. And here's the other piece of evidence that shows this was a matter of urgency for the Vikings. They didn't get a new contract done with GM Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. Not yet. They're turning their attention to that now. Usually both are announced at the same time. This was an effort to put out a fire because there was a fire. There definitely was a fire, and the Vikings realized we got to pay up or shut up and trade up Kevin O'Connell to another team. Obviously didn't happen, and I think it's the right outcome for everyone, and now they move forward, presumably with a new contract for the general manager as they try to get back to the postseason and maybe win a playoff game for the first time since 2020, maybe get to the NFC Championship for the first time since 2017, and maybe get to the Super Bowl for the first time since 1976. We'll have more special editions of PFTPM as events warrant, and they likely will warrant multiple times in the coming days. Have a good one. See you Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern for PFT Live. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.